the
Commence primary ignition.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Live at Lightspeed podcast. My name is Colin,
And I'm Brooke.
and we're here to talk about,
I haven't been here in a while. I don't know.
I think, Star Wars, maybe?
Oh, I like them.
Yeah. You like them?
I like them. Yeah.
Star Wars is a person now.
Well, sure.
The
The blue one, right?
blue one.
Yeah, that's Star Wars.
So, there's a lot to talk about. Star Wars, the person, has
Yes.
been very busy.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah, it's been a crazy build-up for Star Wars. Because we have The Mandalorian, which is officially happening next month. We have
yeah, like about. Yeah.
we have Maul Shadowlord happening in 3 days.
Yeah. It feels like it's one of those things where like you've been waiting.
Yeah.
And it's like here, and all of a sudden I'm like,
Speaking of, we have 2 major announcements. And then not only that, we also have a big Fortnite update for Star Wars fans, and I did more research into it, and it's actually very interesting and exciting because there hasn't been anything like this in one game. So we'll dive into that, and then there's a bunch of different Star Wars merch updates that will be happening.
Disney Store, May the 4th.
No,
Thanks.
we snagged a mouse droid last
Oh
year.
gosh, that was such a time. I
It
remember
was.
you being so nervous. All our friends were like, if somebody gets in, you gotta like buy some for the rest of us. And
Yeah,
I was nervous for you guys.
yeah, and it's funny because I say it like maybe like every month of being like, why haven't we had a mouse droid drag race yet? Because there's like 4 of us that have it, and we haven't done anything with them.
Oh.
Like nothing. And I'm
Mhm.
really bummed about it because I really want to have like a mouse droid drag race, like Fast and Furious. It'd be so cool.
The dream would be if we all lived in the same area.
Yeah.
And then like we don't text anymore. We send messages through the mouse droid.
There you go. That would be fun.
Like we have our own little community.
I don't know if the controllers and the actual like stuff on the mouse droid of the ones that Disney made will allow that. Like,
okay, well then
like,
we'll just have to live really close together.
Okay, all right.
All
Well, there you go. Well, first things first, big shout out to the virtual cantina because without them, our there would be not as many great events as there are that they have done. There have been so many Bounty Eves. If you want a celebration, you may have gone into one of these after parties that they have, and it's just fantastic. And so many incredible people. Brooke and I are very lucky and delighted to be part of the group. It's going to be part of our announcement that we'll be having here soon.
Oh my.
I can't read the comments from here. Maybe you can read the comments.
You're asking the girl with heavy astigmatism in both of her eyes to read. Hang on. You're hovering over it, my guy.
It's also on the screen.
Oh, it says this is where the cool people are at.
Spencer.
Oh.
Yes. But yeah, so let's dive into the Star Wars news, and then we'll dive into the 2 big announcements
Mhm.
near the end. So let's start off with Maul.
Maul
Maul Shadowlord is coming out
on
Monday. But not only that, it's been renewed for a second season already. And it sounds like they're really, really gearing up for a third season. And it sounds like they really want to break the tradition of what the Bad Batch did, of where they want to break that 3-season tradition, where they want to keep going with it, which makes me
Oh,
excited because Maul is such a complex character and
Oh, for
there's
sure.
so much happening during this timeline. And right now we know that the show, takes place but between the events of, of at the end of Revenge of the Sith, right? So it takes place
Mhm.
1 year after Order 66, and then leading up to what happens to him in Star Wars Rebels. And the interesting thing is we know what happens to Maul. We know what happens to him, but not only that, this is actually leading up to where we see him in Solo. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the things that like disappointed me a little bit is that we never got to see what happened next. Like him
Yeah.
and Kira. Like I think there's probably some comics about that, isn't there?
Like vaguely,
Yeah.
but like
I would have
nothing,
loved
nothing direct.
nothing huge. And
Yeah.
that to me felt like such a big kind of like what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for? Like a big surprise.
Yeah.
That's not the right word, but
Right.
like, such a big like wow at the end of the movie. You're like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, what are they gonna do?
Mhm.
And then just nothing.
Right. Well, I mean, we got time with Kira more in the comics, and then not only
Mhm.
that, we actually spent some time with her in Star Wars Outlaws, which takes place between
Oh yeah,
Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. It was actually super cool to see that character come back. But I'm with you. I would love to see more of her character.
Yeah.
What's your predictions of different characters and just different maybe storylines crossing in in Maul Shadowlord?
Oh.
Give me your top 3
Oh,
and then I'll
no.
give you my top 3.
I don't know. I mean, I kind of want to see like a him and Vader, I think.
That is my number 1.
I think that like whether or not he knows who
Yes.
it is, so like that I want to see that play out.
Yeah. So in this, all the episodes have been released of the season, right? The final episode is called Finale. It's just called Finale.
I love that.
And I
Keep
don't
it simple.
and I think that's just like a sitting title. I think it's just there
Mhm.
because I
Mhm.
think everything leading up to this.
Oh, like we're gonna get all the way through and then they're gonna like switch it and you're gonna
Right.
be like
I really think it will be a Maul versus Vader fight.
You know what I would kind of actually okay, so I just had this thought.
Okay.
What if we get like obviously they're gonna fight, but what if we get kind of Maul trying to bring Vader to his senses
Ooh.
and kind of be like, hey, like we started out in the same place. We were lied to, we were manipulated. Like, can't you see?
Yes.
Like, trying to like get to him, and obviously it's gonna fail.
Yeah.
But I would love to see that.
So that's a great prediction because Sam Witwer did state that Maul has a new fond respect for his past enemies and that he has a new perspective in the show going forward.
What makes sense.
We like saw it in that first official trailer that actually dropped because he's drinking tea and all this stuff. And then also there's a new trailer that dropped and Maul keeps repeating a line that is very reminiscent of I am one with the force is with me. I need to pull it like officially up, but it's like the opposite of that. And I love it. And in my mind, and my friend Will from Determined Focus also said this, said that that Sam Witwer came up with that line.
Oh yeah.
Because if Sam has a deep connection with Maul, he understands, of the mindset of what he's going through because he's been voicing this character for so long, but also going into the Clone Wars, going into Rebels, going into the show, just everything in general, all the way, dating back to Starkiller. He was Sorry, our son it was just sneezing outside. We just heard him
We
walk
could
outside
just hear a little sneeze.
with our with our sitter. But dating back to the Force Unleashed, Sam Witwer is a huge Star Wars fan, and he put that into the role, every single Star Wars role that he's done, and I love that. Like when they did the Mortis arc, um, you know, he was playing the sun. He was playing a embodiment of the dark side, and he did that in such a real interesting, beautiful way of of how complex the dark side can be. And with Maul, he's channeled his fandom into this, so I'm really really excited to see a whole show about this character and where his journey has taken him leading up to the events of Maul and Obi-Wan facing off on Tatooine. And also about that, so the Virtual Cantina network actually just did a rewatch of that episode from Star Wars Rebels. Go and check out everything, all the different channels that are in the Virtual Cantina network, because we are just a flavor of ice cream that is part of that. So go and check it out, because there are more channels that that embody what Star Wars is. There are just so many different variants of the fandom in the network, so go and check that out. But yeah, so I'm excited to see that with Maul and Vader. This was all segueing back to that. I know that was a long answer, but I loved your answer. I loved your answer.
And so I thought of another thing.
Oh boy, it's number 2.
I want to dive into the dark side, because I just had this thought. Like, we call it the light side, we call it the dark side. But we talk about how complex the dark side is. I think those are very inaccurate terms to describe the path the Jedi follow and the path the Sith follow. I think that's incredibly simplified, because is the dark side really all evil? It's really not. It's complex.
Okay.
No, hear me out. Because you just said it's so complicated. Like, I think back to Acolyte, right? Like, okay, yes, murder, not good. But is that just like, that's just kind of like a facet, like some people are like okay with that. But however, Chimera was just like, I just want to follow my religion without the Jedi being like, you're wrong because you're not doing exactly what I'm doing. I don't think that the quote unquote dark side is all bad. I think if we were to actually break it down into like what they believe, it's just a different way to worship quote unquote the Force.
Okay.
And obviously it has splintered off into different things.
I can agree with that, because if you look back at the prequels and the original trilogy, even in the sequels, every dark side user has their own agenda, right? So the Emperor wants to rule the galaxy under his thumb, his way. Anakin basically joins the dark side because he wants to learn powers to save Padme.
Yes.
And then you have Maul, who he thought he wanted the same things as Sheev Palpatine.
Right.
Classic Sheev. And it changes after he
like, he realizes, like, as he sees what's going on, he's like, no, I don't subscribe to the same things you do.
Right. And then he tries to be the top dog, and then we see what happens in near the end of the Clone Wars. The Emperor comes in, he sees Maul as a rival, takes out Savage, and then captures Maul. And then that goes through a whole chain of events leading into the Siege of Mandalore. And then Maul goes into hiding after surviving Order 66. And then 1 year later, we see him here, and it looks like he's kind of trying to, rise to power again, but in a different way, because now he has a different perspective. He's had a year time to think about how he wants to do this again. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see how they do it in the show. And I'm glad that they're, that there's another season. Because if this was a one-off season, I just feel like at the end of it, I would have more questions.
It just really depends on how they do it.
Yeah.
I think you can have a really good one-off season of things. And I think that that's something that a lot of these streaming services can learn from. You can have a really good, like really think it out.
Yeah.
You can have a one-off series that is completely good and fulfills everything. But if you don't plan it out, no, you're not going to have a good one. You're going to have to do more.
Right.
And then you run the risk of dragging it out.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, and if you look at Andor, that was a real interesting way of doing things. And this is kind of similar, but Andor's longer, right? So, and of the time span that each 3-episode arc would take over, it would take over a year, right? And then everything was leading up to the events of Rogue One. But with this, we're getting 2 episodes a week.
Which I kind of like.
Yes.
I do. I definitely like dropping it like either one episode or like whatever a week because I don't know. it gives you something to look forward to. I realized when they first started doing like, they just drop it all at once. It can be really exciting because you just binge it, but you binge it in a couple days and it's done. And it just like, I don't know, the excitement is gone. So I really like that we've gone back to dropping an episode or so a week. So
I think what's great is that this is also leading up to May 4th.
Yes.
So we're getting 5 weeks of just straight up Star Wars. And I remember when the Bad Batch was coming on and that was super exciting. Because at the time I was working at Disney and my shift would start around 5 a.m. So I would wake up, and you probably would remember this depending on the show, but they would drop the episode like at 3 a.m. in the morning. So then I would, wake up accordingly, watch it. Some parts were super exciting, so I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, no way!" And then I would just have a text and be like, "Keep it down, please." But it sounds like they are doing that again with these episodes, of where they will be dropping at 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
See, that's
12 p.m.
not my favorite. That's
Pacific.
To me, maybe someone could explain it to me, but that just seems like such an odd time.
Well, so if you go to the live action shows, they like drop it at a prime time to where all families will be, watching it, right? So like if you had the episodes of like Ahsoka was dropping 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I believe. Right. So
see, and I like that, like in the evening.
Yeah.
So you can watch it at a reasonable hour.
Right. But I don't know if if this is going to be like a, hey, whole family, let's sit down and watch this.
Some of us don't want to be up late.
Yeah.
Whether or not we have children watching the show.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think, and I could 100% be wrong, and that's totally fine, but that's just my perspective.
I'm sure they have their reasons.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm very, very excited for it. We are starting the Star Wars season off, and we'll dive into, because I was about to segue into something, but I'm waiting till the end. So besides that, we have the merch that they're going to be announcing every week, and there's also a new book. Brooke, do you want to
I still
talk
have
about that?
one more thing on the list. I only talked about 2 things.
Oh my gosh. I'm
Don't
segueing.
cut me off.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Two.
I'm gonna have a really basic answer. I want to see Ahsoka.
I don't know.
I know. That one I think maybe not, but maybe a mention.
Yeah.
Maybe a little something.
Yeah.
I want to see her in everything.
Well, so they already kind of did hint at that there will be like a Bad Batch reference, which makes sense because because the Bad Batch is happening during this time.
Oh, because it's happening at the same time.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah. Third.
That was it.
Third. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well, I talked about like diving deeper into like what the dark side means.
Okay.
Which isn't really a person, I guess. But...
And then Maul and Vader, because Maul and Vader is my top one.
That would be a really cool interaction.
Just because if they send in the Sith Inquisitors and they don't do their job, who are you gonna call besides the Ghostbusters? Like who? Exactly.
You call the guy.
It will be the guy. Vader. And then, you know, I'm thinking that I think we'll get some type of Obi-Wan reference.
Vader's got beef with him, you know. He killed Qui-Gon.
Yeah. But the thing is, do you think Maul is gonna sense that Vader is Anakin?
I almost wonder if he knows.
I think Maul will definitely know after their
Like, I wonder if he already knows. I could see it going both ways.
It would make sense if he did, because that would just give Vader a other kind of edge of hunting him down.
Because, like, you know, Obi-Wan had his suspicions.
Yeah, but he didn't know until
right. Well, that's what I'm saying.
Until
like
the show.
Like certain people have had their suspicions, so it would not be surprising that Maul, being as attuned to the Force as he is, would also have those. So, like I said, I could see that going either way.
Yeah. And then I caught myself off guard. Yeah, because of Bad Batch and Obi-Wan reference. Maul knowing that Vader's Anakin. Trying to think of any. I'm expecting some type of crossover or cameo from Dryden Voss as well, because Dryden Voss, you know, we actually saw him for a split second at the end of season 7 of the Clone Wars, with some of the other crime families, and I'm thinking maybe this is where, maybe at the end of this, maybe at some point during the show, Dryden Voss will reach out and Maul will be like, I want you to become one of the heads of Crimson Dawn. Do you have anyone in mind to, like, you know, help you out with this? And then, you know, maybe we have like a glimpse of, well, no, because that has to be further down the timeline. But I still think that Dryden Voss showing up would be really cool. Yeah. Paul Bettany did love that character. So it would be super cool to.
Do you think he would voice him?
I mean, they were using his likeness.
That doesn't. Well, yeah.
And we've had.
The only thing is, I wonder, because he's been filming Vision Quest. Yeah. Vision Quest.
I don't know. I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
We'll have to see.
We will have to see.
But yeah. So now segueing into.
Yes, a new. My phone. Yeah, they've kind of officially announced a new book, and it's a horror middle grade novel.
Okay.
So working title, they're not 100% sure if this is like the official title, but it's called Hiding from the Dark. And it's set to release on September 1st.
Okay.
And it's part of their new, like, Lucasfilm's new genre initiative. So we talked about the book called Eyes Like Stars, which is the romance book. And so it's kind of like part of that, where I think they're just trying to like branch out into different like genres to like get more people in. I'm excited about the romance one personally, but this horror one, I'm not usually a horror person, but it sounds interesting.
I remember that one episode of Visions that came out. I think it was Visions Volume 2. It was the kids went into the cave and there was like that
the Screecher's Reach.
Yeah, you did not like that one. We like watched that on May 4th. We like spent the whole day at the parks.
Oh jeez, it was like the noise it made. It was terrible.
We were all sitting on the couch eating pizza, and then the part where like the kid was, I think she was reaching for a lightsaber or something, and then the character just like, you know, came in and like screeched real loud, and Brooke was like, "Nope," and she just walked out of the room.
I was not a fan of that one. There's definitely a difference, I think, between like reading things and seeing it visually. I find that like when I read books, there can be like a rather like graphic scene that doesn't necessarily bother me as much as if I were to see it on TV. But anywho, so like the synopsis of this book, it says, haunted by an evil presence, a young girl tries to solve a nightmarish mystery. Is her boogeyman a Sith or something darker? Horror readers and Star Wars fans of all ages will thrill to this fright-filled middle grade novel. So that sounds interesting.
There was a lot in that sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll have to check it out.
I know, September 1st. I'm putting that on my list.
Okay.
My TBR, my ever-growing TBR. If you know, you know.
Okay. How about the merch announcements all the way?
Want to talk about merch?
Yes, please.
Talk about spending money.
I love May 4th. I treat that day like Christmas.
So, yep, Disney Store has announced some of the stuff that they're dropping for the 4th. And it starts tomorrow, actually. So they're doing it in like batches. So every week leading up to the 4th, they're dropping like a new
every week. Okay.
Yeah, a new batch of stuff. So starting tomorrow, April 4th, they're starting with The Mandalorian. Where did it go? And so the first bundle is going to consist of 7 things, including like a baseball cap, tote bag, hoodie, Magic Band Plus, and a few other things that are like Mandalorian May the 4th themed. And then the next bundles, there's going to be Endor, which I think they just like showed. Like they like posted what those look like. So like super cute Endor, Ewok.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, because I saw like the backpack and the spirit jersey. There's stormtroopers, and then the jerseys, pod racing collections, and those are going to be released on the 10th, 17th, 24th, and
do we know of what's going to be in the pod racer collection?
It does not say yet. They haven't quite announced it yet. Just that.
Oh my goodness! I just wait. What week is that?
I think that one's the last one they listed, so possibly the 1st.
Prediction. That's when they are going to announce the official release date for Galactic Racer.
Oh.
Because...
Did they say this year, or was that just a hope?
Nope. It was this year, but they didn't say when. And my prediction was that it would be around May. Also, Lego did comment on someone's thing of where they said, someone asked, when are we getting a Ben Quadaneros Lego minifig?
Oh, has that not existed yet?
No. Oh. And they respond, and the official Lego account responded with, it would be really cool to have that coincide with the Galactic Racer release.
I'm actually a little surprised they don't have like from Phantom Menace that pod racing scene. Like they have the one that we have, the like Anakin Sebulba one.
They have like the classic stuff, and
but do they have one with like all of them?
So years ago, when like Lego first came out, they had a Lego set that came with 3 of the.
Okay, there was more than 3.
I know, but do you know how many actual pod racers there are?
I'm just saying.
There's a lot, yeah.
You could do it. Oh, you could do it in like sets. There could be one set. I'm gonna trademark this. If Lego does it, you send them my way, and we're gonna have an issue. You do like a set with like so many of them, and then it's one of those where you can like put it together to make the whole scene.
Oh, cool.
Yep, I know. That's a good idea. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, you're saying that's on May 1st?
That one, I think. The way they worded it in this article was a little weird.
Okay.
But yes, I believe, because that was the last one they listed, and then they said like respectively like blah, blah, blah. And so May 1st, I think that one's coming out.
Okay.
May 1st.
So May 4th is on a Monday. May 1st would be a Friday.
Are you
right? Or
possibly Saturday, because if they're starting tomorrow, my guess would be every week would be a Saturday drop.
Oh,
without looking at a calendar. Hang on, I could pull up a calendar. Technology at our fingertips, and we're constantly.
Yeah.
You're right though. May 1st is a Friday.
Okay, cool. Okay, so prediction: that date is when we'll get the official release date for Galactic Racer. If it does happen, I'm going to pull this clip, and then I'm going to show my excitement in the next clip. Right now.
Oh.
Okay, the boom. Okay.
Okay.
So
cool.
Hopefully it happens. But yeah, yeah. So I love that. I love pod racing, and
I think there's a lot of people who are really big. There's like this niche little group.
I don't think it's niche. I think it is a big chunk of the fandom. Absolutely.
They just haven't done enough of it.
So there was a VR game that came out that actually did have old that did have Old Sebulba. It came out last year, I think. And then there was I unfortunately didn't play it just because I don't have any of the VR sets. But then there was the Star Wars Xbox 360 Connect game, and that also had pod racing in there. And then you had the very early pod racing. Even on StarWars.com, they actually had a pod racing game on there where you could, I believe you could customize your own pod racer, and then you could like race around the tracks. Please tell me if someone remembers that, because I love playing that game. I don't think you could play online, but it was really cool. I love that. And then they have like the cool kind of Clone Wars stuff where you customize your clone and then you can go and battle and stuff.
Yeah, I really, really hope you can customize your own pod in this new game. So I know there's a story to it, correct? Right? Like
there's the campaign, and then you'll be able to race online. And it sounds like you will be able to customize
my person and my pod.
That's what it sounds like you'll be able to do. And I know people have been waiting for the full out gameplay. They have shown kind of glimpses of gameplay, just not the full gameplay trailer. I am sold. I know a majority of our friends are sold on the game as well, just because we love the Phantom Menace. We love anything with racing. Can't wait to see you and Hunter race at some point, because you both are very well. I think you are.
Why us two?
Well, because you are very competitive when you race in Mario Kart, and
it's because I have to win.
Yeah, and I would probably use the word that I am false cocky. So like I'll be like, oh, you were going down, and then I'll be playing the game, and then I'm just I'm just okay.
At our friend's Bunta Eve, say this guy made it sound like he was going to be wiping the floor with everyone,
and I didn't.
I was taking care of Hayden for a good chunk of time. I came back and they were like, "It's your turn to play," and I think I beat you after you had already done multiple races.
Yeah,
it was my first time.
It was the Pod Racer's Revenge, and it's so funny because when I game solo, and you've seen me game solo,
I see you yell at the TV.
Yeah, but I'm decent at it.
Decent.
But then all of a sudden you're like doing gas and you're doing the shields, and the shield doesn't want to work.
It's different when there's real people. I always said this. Yeah. So my brother was always from a young age just fantastic at video games. Like pissed me off because he was just so naturally good at them. I could play Mario Kart and get first every time, like playing against computers. Yeah. The second he would play with me, and it's just the two of us as real people, I would be like way in the back. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, but you're the only other real person. How am I doing this bad?
Speaking of games, there is the Fortnite update that's happening officially on May 1st, and then it's not like what they did last year. It's where,
which I think you would hope, because you don't want the same thing.
Well, so what's really cool about this, and it's astonishing, is a couple of weeks ago they actually gave access to people to actually create maps off of these planet templates. So there's Hoth, there's Endor, there's Tatooine, and then there's space. And basically, you'll be able to do these massive full out scale maps with anything that you create on it. And people have pretty much recreated Star Wars Battlefront, where like you have a bunch of ships and then people can hop in, and then you can have these giant like X-Wing, TIE Fighter, NF1 Starfighter like matches. And then you have these other maps that people have made where it's more of like a open world RPG, of where you'll be able to walk around with your character and go to the cantina, explore the Dune Sea. It's going to be so interesting to that all of this, everything I talked about, is in one game. Yeah. So it's absolutely insane. And we know that Disney down the road really, really wants to buy Epic Games, who owns Fortnite and stuff like that. So there's potential there, but I'm really curious of what the feedback is going to be from the public about it. Comment. I think I know what it is. I think it's AJ. Can you read that?
Please hold.
It says, "What's up?"
I have to do this in part. What's up, party people?
Oh.
Basically, like who's jumping onto the game Fortnite with me?
Oh,
when
AJ, I will hit you up.
I'm gonna have to brush up. So I have dabbled in Fortnite.
Yes.
I am not very good. I have killed at least 3 people
in Fortnite.
Yeah, I do feel. Yeah, that's probably a fair. That's fair. So I'm gonna have to brush up, but I feel so cool because Colin was able to give me like the Mandalorian like character customized thing, and so like I feel so cool. Like
they have a custom Mandalorian skin that you could get, and they might put it back in the store.
I hope they do, because I think that's when you were able to give it to me.
Yeah,
when they like brought it back. But
it was super cool.
You can choose like different like bits of armor and like different like a bunch of colors, and so that I just thought that was so cool. I think that's why I started playing the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just need to like just learn how it works. I am pretty good at video games, but I need to learn the controls.
You just started playing Jedi Survivor. I mean, not Survivor, Fallen Order for the first time.
I watched you play quite a bit of it, but I know there's a bunch.
I remember when that game dropped.
You were so excited. Was that the one where Chris came over with his?
Yeah.
Okay, let me tell you. I've never seen this happen before. These guys were so excited that his friend came over to our place, brought his own TV. They set themselves up in different rooms, mind you, to play quote unquote together.
Yeah.
It was wild.
We were, just comparing notes, and
you do you, but I was just like, okay.
Chris and I both pre-ordered the game, so we got all the special edition stuff, and we both were like, super excited about it. We both were at that panel at Star Wars Celebration, and I just remember how exciting it was. And then, they didn't do a panel for Jedi Survivor, unfortunately, over at Star Wars Celebration, but they did have where like they actually ended up going on the Star Wars Celebration live stage, and then they had them up there, and they were chilling. But yeah, I am excited for the third game when that comes out. But
yeah, I'm looking forward to getting I'm like barely into it, and I had to start over because I think I had started a file on our Xbox.
Yeah,
we haven't set that up since we moved. We've just been playing our PS5, and so I like restarted it on that, and so I started over. Right now I can't defeat those. What are those giant frog things?
Oh,
I don't know what they're called, but I can't. I'm not strong enough for that yet. It kept pissing me off. But yeah, I'm just excited. I love a good story. Like I was someone growing up and I played video games because I liked the campaign, and I think you were more the opposite. You preferred like the more open, like I don't know what you want to call that. So yeah, I love a good story.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited. I want to do that one. And eventually I'd like to do that Bounty Hunter one, the K-Vest one.
Oh,
Outlaws.
Star Wars Outlaws.
Yeah. Yep.
Our friend Eric.
He just so I love Nyx, obviously, the little space axolotl. Love it. Our friend Eric, who makes really incredible Star Wars
beautiful cups, by the way.
Absolutely. It's stunning. Like I want all of them.
Yeah.
Made one designed for Nyx, and it's so cute.
Yeah. I keep talking to him.
He did a K-Vest one too.
Yes, he did. And I keep talking to him about doing a Max Reroll one, and he keeps saying,
I'm sure that's so high on his list.
Yes. But yeah, so yeah, there's a lot going on. And then we've actually gotten our first like more close looks at the game. Star Wars Zero. Oh, shoot, I'm blinking on it. I've had a long day. Hayden did not want to go to sleep last night.
Oh my gosh. I don't know what the heck was that. A little Hayden update. Last night he went to bed like he normally does.
Yeah.
Woke up at about 11:30, and this boy was not happy. Screaming. Absolutely screaming. Like rocking, did nothing.
Probably didn't go to bed till like around 3:30ish.
The only thing that worked was I eventually just like I went in our bed for try to like different scenery, and I just plopped him on the bed, and he was content.
Yeah,
he just like roamed around a little bit, and then he just lay down, and we just like stare off into space completely happy. If I tried to rock him again, screaming. So I have a really lovely like Disney
Star Wars.
There's not Star Wars in that one, but it's just like instrumental music. There's like a playlist that I found on Spotify. So it's just Disney songs. It's just instrumental. And just kind of like put that on, and he just kind of chilled. It took him a couple hours.
Yeah.
And he eventually fell asleep, but he was just like, I don't know if it was like a burst of self-independence where he was like, do not rock me. I will go to sleep on my own time. But that was rough. Yeah. He didn't really go to bed until 3 a.m. And so that was really fun.
Yeah. So we've been playing catch up all day, but Zero Company. Going back to,
I don't know that Zero Company.
So it takes place during the Clone Wars. It's a strategy game. And
it's a card game.
No.
Sorry.
This is basically where you were kind of like a off the books squad during the Clone Wars. So you've
squad
of like, there's a clone, there's a Jedi, there's
okay.
There's a bunch of different
hodgepodge.
Yes, yeah. I believe there's a Togruta in there as well. So like there's a different types of species in the squad, and then they just
I have not heard about this.
They just take out droids.
How I missed this.
Well, I'm shocked because we have definitely talked about it on the podcast. I know
we have.
Was I
there?
You were there.
Show me the proof.
Well, not now. But yeah, so I'm expecting some type of announcement for that soon. But yeah, let's dive into, those two announcements.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
do we have to?
Yeah.
They're not.
No one's interested. No way. So this is kind of crazy to think about, but I now am doing commissions full time. So I've got more time at home, which I don't, but I do.
Yeah. Well, like, yes, you do.
Yeah.
You're instead of being away, you're here. Also, can I just say, like, people who make fun of like the people on like home buying shows and they have like really weird jobs. Like that's what I think of for you now. I'm like, I'm Colin and I build Wookiees.
Hi.
Because like they always have like these really weird off the wall jobs.
Yeah.
And they're like, my budget's $5 million. Our budget is not $5 billion, but we have funny jobs.
Yeah. So my waitlist has come up. So I've been playing like it's stacked. Because there's been amazing support in the community. My friend and partner, Nate Ritchie, has been in my corner, and he's been sending people my way. I've been sending people his way. And then Justin Sonfield was also a big inspiration as well, after some conversations with him. So I'm doing it full time. I am working from home. On the other side of the camera, there's a bunch of
it's a mess.
Oh yeah.
You wish you could see it.
Oh,
actually, you probably don't. There's Wookiee hair everywhere.
Yeah. So it's been a journey. And it's nice because I am also on my own routine, but because I'm at home, I'm going to be able to do more now. I've been in the podcasting world for almost 9 years now.
Really?
Yeah.
You're old.
I feel old. And Star Wars Celebration for my first one was, all the way back at 2017. And
that feels
next year.
That's almost 10 years ago.
I was there for the 40th anniversary panel. Star Wars Celebration changed my life, and it really set me in a great direction where I've met some incredible people along the way because of it. And then, I left the old podcast I was on just because we were on different paths. And then, I talked with Spencer, and Mark and AJ and everyone on the VCN team. And I wanted to be part of something that really that represents Star Wars in such a cool way. And the great thing about the Virtual Cantina Network is that there's so many different kind of I keep saying flavors of ice cream, and I blame you, Mark, if you're watching, because
I mean, everyone loves ice cream.
That's what he told me the first time I joined. But
facets, is that what you're trying to?
There are so many different flavors of ice cream in the Cantina Network because, there's just different channels that cover different things. And what we've been doing has been covering the news every week. We're on YouTube, we're podcasting, all that stuff. And Life at Lightspeed is, was a name that I came up with. And we love the name, but change is something that that can be difficult but fun at the same time. And this is mainly fun. It's not going to be difficult at all. What I'm trying to say is the name of the podcast is changing because Brooke and I are going to be doing more for VCN. You'll be seeing us more at conventions. You'll be seeing more content. Because the people over at VCN, they are amazing people, and myself and Brooke are very excited to be part of the team, and we're excited to be doing more at cons. So this means more con coverage. This means more content. This means more celebrity interviews. This just means more in general, and we're super excited. So the first announcement is, if my mouse works, and then we'll say what it is. Hang on. Let's see. Oh boy, here we go. Oh. We're getting there. We're getting there. Maybe. There it is. Ta-da! So the new name of the podcast is VCN Transmissions, and this will be the main source of news coming out of VCN. So tune in every week. Every time there is a big announcement, we'll be there. Every time that a new episode of Maul Shadow Lord drops, we'll be there. When you're feeling in the dumps and you just want to hear something about Star Wars, we'll be there. Yeah. I'm just going to turn this to a huge inspirational thing. Yeah, but no,
we're here for you.
Yes. So we're really, really excited about this. And with a new name comes with more new announcements, which is we are doing a giveaway. Not just one, not just two, not just three. We can skip 4 and say 5. We're doing 5 giveaways for 5 weeks of Maul Shadow Lord. What does that mean? Well, we every single week of Maul Shadow Lord leading up to May 4th, we will be doing a giveaway. And we're going to do an Instagram post directly after this saying how you can enter. But it's 2 Black Series from Maul Shadow Lord, and then 2 Funko Pops for week 3. So week 1 is a Black Series, week 2 is a Black Series, week 3 is a is 2 Funko Pops. So we're just counting as 1, and then week 3 and 4 are big giveaways. 4 and 5. Sorry.
Yes.
4 and 5.
They're mystery.
They're mystery, but really big collector item giveaways. So stay tuned for that. And we'll be posting this on our social media afterwards.
Now, is it still the Life at Lightspeed social media?
Nope, it's changing.
Well, is that where they need to go?
They'll be going to VCN Transmissions.
Is it the same page with a new name? Okay.
Yeah.
That was mostly for myself because I had no.
Yeah.
But so everyone else knows.
Yep.
So it'll be the same page. Don't got to follow anything new. We're just going to be changing the name.
Yep. So just stay tuned every week. We will be doing this more often, especially because our schedules are lined up. And yeah, so just
the stars have aligned.
The stars have aligned, and we are beyond excited for all of this. So thank you to everyone that listens. Thank you to everyone that's in our corner supporting us, and thank you for just being a fan of Star Wars.
That's why we're here.
Yeah, I mean, like, I've been doing this for such a long time, and I talked with the VCN family and just being like, I want to do more. I want to do more. I want to dive in more. And this is a great way to do it. So just stay tuned for more content and more fun. And yeah, we will talk to you soon. Go to social media shortly after this and enter in that giveaway. May the force be with you.
Forever and always.
Forever and always.